You are the prize, not her. Stop begging. Stop chasing. Rare men choose. Weak men perform. Which one are you? Before we dive deeper, I want to pause and say thank you for being here. This channel is about building men who live with strength, clarity, and purpose. If that message resonates with you, do me a favor. Hit the like button so more men can find this, and tap subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I'm genuinely grateful for every one of you watching. Now let us continue, because what we're about to unpack could change your entire approach to relationships. Here's the truth. Most men today have been trained to chase, to beg, to perform, and it's dangerous. Why? Because when you surrender your power in a relationship, you set yourself up for anxiety, disrespect, and heartbreak. Let me paint the picture. It's 2 a.m. You're staring at your phone, rereading the same messages, waiting for a reply that never comes. Your chest is tight, your head is spinning, and you're thinking, what did I do wrong? Or maybe it's a Saturday. You had plans, gym, friends, maybe even work that mattered. But you cancel everything because she texted, I might be free later. Now you're sitting around waiting, hoping, and wasting time that should have been invested in yourself. Or picture this. You're at dinner with her. She says something that crosses your boundary, something you don't agree with. And instead of calmly speaking up, you swallow it. You smile. You nod. You tell yourself it's not worth the fight. But deep down, you're building resentment. And she feels it, even if you don't say a word. This isn't harmless. This is what destroys men. It takes strong, capable men and turns them into emotional beggars. And the more you give away your value, the less she respects you, the less she desires you. Men, listen carefully. Attention is cheap. Love costs something. And if you can't tell the difference, you'll keep pouring your time, your money, your energy into women who only see you as entertainment, a backup plan, or worse, a doormat. That's why this conversation matters. Because right now, too many men are playing the wrong game. You're chasing validation instead of building value. You're asking to be chosen instead of choosing wisely. And every time you do, you weaken the foundation of the relationship. But it doesn't have to stay this way. Stay with me, because in this video, we're going to unpack the psychology behind attraction, why chasing kills respect, and how to reclaim your power without being cold, manipulative, or toxic. Let's get into it. Now, let me give you the roadmap for the rest of this video so you know exactly what's coming. We're going to break this down into 5 Stoic principles every man must master in relationships. Number 1, stop chasing, start choosing. Number 2, attention does not equal love. Number 3, begging is power loss. Number 4, emotional control is magnetic. And number 5, tests are not attacks, they're opportunities to lead. Each principle will come with real-world stories, practical steps, and mindset shifts you can apply starting today. Let's dive into the first one. Principle number 1, stop chasing, start choosing. When you chase, you plead. When you choose, you lead. And that difference determines whether she sees you as a man to admire or as a man to tolerate. Most men are conditioned from boyhood to believe they must always chase. You're told, win her over, impress her, buy her things, make her laugh, compete with every other man for her attention. And for a while, it seems romantic. Movies tell you it's heroic, but in real life, that chasing energy communicates only one thing. You are above me. I need you to validate my worth. Let me show you what that looks like. Picture a party. 2 men notice the same woman. The first man. Let's call him the chaser. He rushes over, buys her a drink, laughs at every single joke, floods her with compliments, hangs on her every word. Within 5 minutes, he's invested everything. Time, attention, energy, into someone he doesn't even know yet. She smiles politely, but inside, she's already bored. Why? Because he made her the prize, the mission, the pedestal. He revealed his desperation instantly. Now the second man, let's call him the chooser. He notices her, but doesn't sprint across the room. He's relaxed. He's social. He talks with others. He enjoys himself. Eventually, their eyes meet. When they finally talk, he doesn't flatter her endlessly. Instead, he asks bold questions, listens closely, and speaks with calm confidence. He's not trying to prove himself. He's evaluating. Does she even fit into my world? And that difference is magnetic. Not because he's rude, not because he's arrogant, but because he's selective. He's moving from mission, not motion. Men, here's the Stoic truth. A king doesn't sprint after his crown. When you chase, you're communicating lack. When you choose, you're communicating strength. And women feel this energy immediately. One makes them lean out. The other makes them lean in. Now let's get practical. If you want to embody a chooser, not a chaser, you need a framework. I call it the pre-date filter. Before you give your time, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Does she respect my time, or does she constantly cancel last minute? Does she align with my core values, or does she pull me away from them? Does she bring me peace, or does she bring me chaos? If she fails that test, don't chase her. Don't try to make it work. A queen who disrespects your schedule, your values, or your peace isn't a queen for you. Here's another practical, the calendar rule. Never cancel your keystone habits, sleep, training, work blocks, for a maybe. If she texts, I might be free later, the chooser doesn't drop everything. He keeps his schedule because his mission comes first. He invites her into his world, but never abandons it for her whims. Even in something as small as your first message, the difference shows. A chaser says, whenever you're free, I'll make it work. A chooser says, I'm free Thursday at 7 or Saturday at 4. Pick what works best for you. Same man, same woman, but 2 entirely different dynamics. One is begging to be picked. The other is calmly selecting. Guess which one she respects more. And here's where most men get it twisted. They think choosing means arrogance. It doesn't. Choosing means clarity. Choosing means patience. Choosing means you value yourself enough to evaluate, not just perform. Remember this. A woman doesn't want to be your mission. She wants to join a man who already has one. So if you want to stop chasing, stop making women the centerpiece of your existence. Build your mission. Build your body, your income, your vision, your discipline. Then invite her in, if she qualifies. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing, the right women start chasing you. Because you're no longer needy. You're no longer desperate. You're no longer performing. You're a man on his path. A man who chooses. So here's your challenge. The next time you feel the urge to over-text, over-plan, or over-perform, pause. Ask yourself one question. Am I chasing out of fear or choosing out of strength? That one shift in mindset can change your entire dating life. Men, hear me clearly. Stop chasing. Start choosing. Because the man who chooses is rare, and rare men are valuable. Now, let's move to principle number 2, where we separate attention from actual love. Principle number 2, attention does not equal love. This is where so many men get blindsided. A little bit of interest, a few quick texts, some laughs, maybe even some flirting, and suddenly you're convinced she's the one. But here's the truth you need to tattoo on your mind. Attention is cheap. Love costs something. Let me tell you a story. There's a guy at work. A woman compliments him often. They grab coffee. She texts him late at night. They talk about life. They share inside jokes. He starts to think, wow, she really sees me. She gets me. But here's the kicker. She's dating someone else. He's the emotional boyfriend, not the actual partner. And he doesn't notice, because he's locked into her attention. He mistakes cheap validation for real investment. And when he finally realizes she never chose him, he feels used. Not because she lied, but because he ignored the signs. Men, pay attention. Attention can be flirty, fun, even addictive. But it's not commitment. It's not consistency. It's not love. So how do you tell the difference? You look at patterns, not sparks. I use something I call the COAL test. Consistency. Does she keep showing up after the initial thrill, or only when it's exciting? Ownership. Does she admit mistakes, or always shift blame? Availability. Does she show up when inconvenient, or only when it benefits her? Loyalty. Does she maintain boundaries with other men, or play games? If she fails those, then you're not looking at love. You're looking at attention. Let me give you another example. You meet someone new. First week, it's fireworks, texts, calls, maybe even intimacy. Then suddenly it cools off. She responds slower. She says, "I'm busy. I'm figuring things out." And now you're stuck in limbo. You're chasing the high of that early attention, trying harder to win back what was never real. And here's where men destroy themselves. They double down. They pour more energy, more time, more emotion into a woman who already showed she wasn't serious. That's not love. That's self-deception. Men, listen. A woman who loves you doesn't confuse you. She doesn't keep you guessing. She doesn't breadcrumb you with emojis and late-night flattery. She shows up. She invests when it's inconvenient. She's steady, not just sweet. She's there after the excitement fades. That's commitment. So what do you do with this? Simple. Stop rewarding attention with your loyalty. Don't give consistency to someone who only gives convenience. Don't confuse emotional sparks with emotional substance. Next time you meet someone who floods you with attention, pause. Watch what happens when you stop chasing. Does she still show up? Does she invest without you carrying the load? Or does the whole connection collapse the moment you pull back? That's your answer. Attention feels good in the moment, but it's not a foundation you can build anything on. If you keep mistaking it for love, you'll always feel insecure, because you'll always be chasing validation. But when you require commitment, loyalty, and consistency, you filter out the games and find what's real. So remember this. Attention is confetti. Commitment is concrete. Choose concrete. Now let's move to principle number 3. Why begging doesn't just cost you pride, it costs you power. Principle number 3. Begging is power loss. Every man has felt this moment, but few will admit it. She pulls back a little, becomes distant, colder. And instead of standing firm, you start bending. You text more, you explain more, you apologize for things you didn't even do just to keep the connection alive. Let me be clear. The second you start begging for her attention, her love, or her time, you lose something deeper than pride. You lose power. Begging sends one loud message. You have something I can't live without. And the moment she senses that, the dynamic flips. She no longer has to invest. She no longer has to earn your presence. She knows no matter how she treats you, you'll still be there waiting, apologizing, chasing. That kills attraction. Let me paint it simply. Imagine 2 men texting. He triple texts. "Are you okay?" She sees it, sighs, and delays even more. Man B gets slower replies. He sends one clear message. "I value consistency. If that's not where you are, I'll step back. Wishing you well." Then he moves on with his life. She feels the difference instantly. Respect grows even if she doesn't say it out loud. That's the power of expressing once, then walking. You don't have to yell. You don't have to argue. You don't have to plead. This is Stoic discipline in relationships. Say it once. Observe. Decide. Because the man who begs trains her to ignore him. But the man who expresses once and walks away trains her to respect him. And here's the truth most men avoid. You were valuable before she came into your life, and you'll still be valuable if she leaves. Your worth was never meant to depend on her response. If it does, you've lost more than the relationship, you've lost yourself. So the next time you feel the urge to beg, stop. Ask yourself, am I trying to prove my worth to her, or am I protecting my worth for myself? A man who knows his value doesn't beg. He communicates once. If she meets the principle number 5, tests as selection. Most men panic when a woman challenges them. She gets moody, questions their decisions, pulls back her energy, or even flirts with uncertainty. And instead of standing firm, they crumble. They chase harder. They argue. They start doubting themselves. But here's what you need to understand. Most of the time, it's not about disrespect. It's about instinct. Women test not because they're cruel, but because they're wired to look for strength. She needs to know if you can hold the frame, if you can lead not just her, but yourself. Think about it. If she's going to trust you with her time, her vulnerability, her peace, she needs to know you won't collapse under pressure. She needs to know you can steady the storm, not add to it. So when she challenges you, she's really asking one question. Can I trust this man's direction? Let's go through some examples. Scenario 1. The mood storm. She's sharp, short, maybe even snappy. The reactive man mirrors her emotion, snaps back, or pleads for her to calm down. He fails the test. The grounded man says, I hear you. Let's pause and talk after dinner. Calm. Firm. No begging. She feels his stability. Scenario 2. The boundary push. She says, cancel your gym. Come see me right now. The reactive man obeys instantly, proving his mission is negotiable. Respect lost. The grounded man replies, I won't cancel training, but I'd love to see you after. Warm heart, firm spine. That's leadership. Scenario 3. The jealous spark. She flirts with another guy to see how you'll react. The insecure man explodes or sulks. The grounded man smiles, redirects, and says, we came together. If that's not the vibe, we can wrap the night. No anger, no begging, just clarity. See the pattern? She's not looking for a servant. Now let's tie it all together with something practical, a 7-day Stoic power protocol. A simple framework you can start this week to reclaim your frame, your mission, and your peace. Day 1. Identity. Write down your personal code. What do you stand for? What behaviors will you never tolerate? Day 2. Mission block. Lock in your non-negotiables: training, deep work, sleep. These stay on the calendar no matter what. Day 3. Digital frame. Silence notifications. Choose windows when you respond, instead of being a slave to every ping. Day 4. Social reps. Start 3 bold conversations. Practice saying no once. Build your backbone in public. Day 5. Audit. Attention. Identify the women giving you crumbs. Step back with clarity. Invest only where energy returns. Day 6. Lead a plan. Set up a simple date with 2 options. Give direction, not desperation. Day 7. Review and refine. Journal what you did well, where you slipped, and which standard you'll raise next. Follow this for 1 week and watch your energy, clarity, and presence shift. Because men who live by a code become rare, and rare men attract everything. Men, here's the truth. You are the prize when you live with mission, discipline, and emotional control. You don't beg, you don't chase, you build. And because you build, you attract. Remember the refrain: stop chasing, start choosing. Chasing says, I hope I'm good enough. Choosing says, I know my worth, and I'll only share it where it's respected. So here's my challenge to you. This week, live like the man who chooses. Guard your standards. Protect your mission. Lead with calm strength. And watch how the energy around you shifts. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever given away your power in a relationship? Have you begged, chased, or compromised your standards? Drop your story in the comments. This isn't just about me talking it's about us building a community of men who hold the line together. And tell me what you want next. Should we dive into Stoic texting scripts? First date leadership? Long-term boundaries? Your feedback shapes this channel. If this video helped you, hit like so more men can find it, and tap subscribe so you never miss the next one. Until then, choose, don't chase.